Hey, it's me, Mercury, and today we're doing a what if Deku had a elemental manipulation quirk. Now, what he can manipulate is 8 elements. It's fire, water, earth, air, ice, light, darkness, and lightning. Similar to what's shown, but the names are different, of course. And yeah, so Deku is born, and it's a normal day. And Inko gets to take him home a week later. Now everything is normal until 8 months later, when Deku can walk, and he's progressed faster than normal babies. He can understand. He could understand their language at an early age, and he could actually walk earlier than a baby can't should, and nobody knows why. And that and it's nighttime, and Inko puts Deku to bed, and it's storming outside. Then the light goes out. So Inko goes around the house putting up candles because she's going to be up for a little while longer. And as she does this, Deku gets up out of the baby bed and climbs out and goes to a candle that is sitting low enough to where he can grab it and accidentally knocks it to the floor. Now, it starts, the candle breaks and a small fire starts to form. And Deku just seeing this, it, he gets a tingling feeling in his body. And the fire starts to grow, but it's not burning anything. And Deku just steps into the fire and starts playing around with it. Now, Inko, she goes into the living room where Deku is, and she sees a bright light while she's walking down the hallway. She just starts like a she starts hurrying up and to get to the living room. And when she gets there, she sees Deku playing in the fire. And she's freaking out, and she's like, "Oh my god." And just grabs the fire extinguisher that's in the kitchen. And when she turns around, when she grabs it, everything darkens. When she turns around, the fire is gone. And she runs over to Deku and gets him into a big hug. Now, she picks him up and takes him to the Quirk doctor. And when they're talking to the doctor, she explains what she saw. Now, the doctor, a little puzzled, and he takes Deku in to assess his quirk. Now, Deku, still being 8 years old, gets tired pretty fast, and the doctor asks the nurse to go get Deku a cup of water. And when she comes back, she hands Deku the cup of water and says, "Here, drink this. It'll help." He drinks about half of it, and gets a tingling feeling and an urge to throw the water up. Now, the doctor sees this, as he bends his hand back and just throws up the water, still holding the cup, just slings it into the air. And it just stang. The doctor, a little surprised by this. And Deku just waving his hand around and starts forming shapes. A fish, a horse, a cat, and it's just flying around the room until Deku gets too tired and it just falls to the floor. Now, the doctor is like, okay, hold on. The doctor says that we're going to need to run more tests. And 2 months later, the doctor figures out that Deku can use 8 types of elements. And he tells this to Inko. He's like, "Ma'am, your son can manipulate elements. Not just 1 or 2. He can manipulate 8 of them. Though only about 2 of them manifested. I suspect over the years he's going to be able to manipulate even more of them." Inko's surprised to hear this and says, "How? Mine and his father's quirks don't even have anything to do with that." "Well, maybe mine. Because I have telepathy. Not telepathy, but, dang, I forgot the name of it. But whatever her quirk is. And his is fire breath." Now, the doctor says, well, this could be a form of mutation. And a very incredible one at that. And he says, keep an eye on your child, because he seems to get urges to do stuff when a quirk starts manifesting. Well, whenever he's able to manipulate another element. Now, Inko, surprised to hear this, is like, okay, I'll keep a close eye on him and yada yada yada. So, on their way home, she takes Deku out to celebrate because it is his birthday. And she takes him out to eat. Gives him a french fry to nibble on, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy because he's still 1 year old. And he is extremely smart. And he is stronger than kids his age. Now, on their way home, they decide to take a shortcut. And they run into a person that has a hood over their head. Now, he bumps into Inko. Then just... Inko's like, sorry. And he just turns around and pulls out a knife. And says, give me your money, give me your purse, and give me any jewels that you have on you. And Inko, just surprised, takes a step back. And just looks around and cannot see Deku. And she's like, where'd my child go? And he's like, be quiet, there was no child here. Now, hand over your valuables or things will get messy. And Izuku just appears in front of them because he was there. It's just that he was able to disappear, like out of perception. And it just stops. he stops it, and Inko is surprised, and is like, when could you do that? And Deku's like, I don't know. And the mugger repeats, give me your possessions now, or this will get messy. And Inko just gives him her purse and her wallet. And Deku's confused by this and says, Mommy, why are you giving your stuff away? And she's like, to keep us safe, honey. Now, the robber sees a jewel, well, a necklace with a diamond on it. Yes, I am doing that. And he's like, hand over the necklace, and I'll be on my way. And taken aback by this, she says, no, you're not getting this necklace. It's the only thing that I have of his father while he's away right now. And the mugger getting annoyed and says, hand over it now. Then Deku's like, be quiet and leave Mommy alone. And the mugger looks at him with surprise in his eyes and is like, kid, stay out of this. This is adult business. And Deku just starts hitting him and says, leave Mommy alone. And the mugger just picks up Deku and says, I told you, kid, stay out of our business. And he throws Deku to the ground. And Inko, scared for a child, starts to run over to him, but gets caught by the shirt and thrown to the ground. And the mugger pulls a knife closer to her and says, give me the necklace now, or I'll have to force it and it won't be pretty. Now, Deku sees his mother get thrown to the ground. And he just charges at the villain and grabs onto him. And he gets an urge. He's not sure what to do. And just saying, and the urges get stronger as a power builds up inside of him. And he just gets stronger. And he's actually able to hold on to the man. And then the urge is like, release the built up tension. And as Deku does, electricity just starts flying from his body. And Inko is safe because he is behind the mugger and she is in front of him. Electricity just starts flying everywhere, and the mugger gets electrocuted. Now, he's not dead. He passes out. Now, Power Hero comes over to where the commotion is and sees a boy standing above a body with a woman on the ground and a knife in the man's hand. And he runs over and says, are you two okay? And Inko's like, yes, sis, we are, but this man tried to rob us. And the hero checks on the man and is like, he's okay, he's alive. Now, did the boy do this? Confused. And you could tell that he's confused by the way his voice is. And Inko's like, yes, I'm not sure I'm not sure, but his quirk is still coming in. And he's not able to fully control it yet. And the hero, hearing this, congratulates the boy on protecting his mother, while he is in Inko's arms, and she's just hugging onto him. He congratulates her and says, One day when you grow up and if you decide to become a hero, I will help you on this. Now, Deku being, what's the word? Inspired, because, and a sense of accomplishment, not accomplishment, but relief and stuff, whatever, washes over him. And he's like, if I can do this and protect people like I protected my mom, that will be good. Now, he just shakes his head, yes. He just shakes his head and says, I will. Now, times he they're on their way heading home after she gives a police report. And that's where we're going to do a time skip of 3 years. When Deku meets Bakugo in preschool, I believe, or is it kindergarten? I don't know. It's one of those. So yeah, Bakugo, his quirk awakens, and he's showing it off at school. Now, everybody is wowed by it, and so is Deku, but he's not over there cheering him on and praising him. He's sitting down and reading a book. Now, nobody's ever seen Deku use his quirk or even know if it manifested yet. So Bakugo walks up to him and says, "Hey, did your quirk manifest?" And Deku just looks up and is like, "What?" And Bakugo asks again, "Did your quirk manifest?" Izuku looking... No, Izuku gets a look of, "Oh." No other way to describe it, just, "Oh." And he's like, "Yes. Yes, I did." And everybody just being taken aback because Deku never showed off his quirk. He's just either studying or reading. And the books that he reads are fairly advanced for it. Like they're they have bigger words and they're more pages. And the teachers aren't surprised because they're used to it. It's been a while since they've been in. And the teachers know what his quirk is, but they haven't said it because Izuku hasn't shown it off. And the kids are like surprised. And they're like just surrounding him and asking him what's his quirk. Now, Bakugo, getting a little annoyed, walks up to, after like being pushed out, pushes his way back through and with an explosion going off. A small one, not a big one. And says, "Be quiet and let him speak." And everybody just looks at Bakugo and just starts quieting down. Now, Deku says, "Well, my quirk is elemental manipulation." And everybody just looks at him and is like, "What do you mean?" And he says, "I can control certain elements." And everybody's just awed. It's like, "Can you show us?" And he walks over to a socket, just like he puts his middle finger and his thumb of his left hand together, and just starts pulling, just like moving his hand back like he's pulling something, and electricity just starts to come out of the plug, of every single plug in the room. And he moves his hand up and the electricity follows and meets together where his fingers, like about like a foot above his fingers, and forms a ball. Then he just twists his hand around and it forms a horse. No, let's say an eagle, and just starts flying around the room. Everybody's shocked and is captivated by it, including the teachers because they've never seen him use his quirk before. And before he snaps his fingers and it disappears. Everybody turns to look at Deku and is like, "Oh my gosh, that is so cool. How come you never showed us?" And Deku's like, "Well, I can't really control it that well." And Bakugo getting even more annoyed because Deku's quirk is so amazing. And he has great control over it. And everybody's just surrounding him. He's like, "Yeah, my quirk's cool, but what is it to that?" And that is where I'm going to leave. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this part off. And I'll catch y'all in my next video. Bye.